What's up, everybody? It's your girl Jazz, and we are back again to discuss some of the monumental moments of Sisters. And we are discussing today Sisters Season 5, the 4-page letter reading. Okay? So, I want to talk about that scene. And the reason I want to talk about that scene is because it was a whole lot going it was a whole lot going on that I don't think anybody discussed, but I want to talk about it. First of all, I want to talk about Miss Lisa. And in that scene, in those few episodes, in my opinion, you kind of get a glimpse into where Karen gets a lot of her stuff from. Okay, and I'm about to explain what I mean by it. Miss Lisa Miss Lisa is incredibly nice nasty. And first of all, prior episodes to the letter reading, Zach came to Miss Lisa's house. Well, technically the night before, Zach came to, not Miss Lisa, I'm sorry. Zach went to Karen's house to talk to her about her calling his phone, and I'm calling Fatima's phone and going off on her because Karen thought that Fatima was the one who called Aaron to tell him that she was in the hospital. Now, even thinking about that, even listening to myself say that makes no sense. Why would Fatima call Aaron to tell Aaron that Karen was in the hospital? Why would she even have Aaron's number? And then, like, this is why I said in the last video, if you guys watched it, please go back and watch it. I did like a little 15 minute, I think it was like 15 minutes, but I did a little short video about Karen being on Zach's lawn. Okay, so if you have a minute, go back and watch it. But this is why I said we were not dealing with a sane individual in that moment. We really were dealing with an individual who was spazzing because they were no longer in control. And when you think about a person like that, and I'm about to use some terminology. When you think about a person that no longer has quote unquote supply, when you think about that, when they're losing their grip on the person that they once had control over, yeah, Karen was losing her mind. And you see that, and you honestly see that here. You see that here in this scene. In that scene, when she said to Aaron, Fatima got your number. Fatima got your number, don't she? She called you, didn't she? Yep. And she got your number because Andy got all kind of numbers. Yep, I'm finna call. Like, she came up with this whole scenario in like a matter of 10 minutes. Ma'am. So anyway, that's neither here nor there. But so yeah, that happened. But anyway, fast forward to the letter reading. And at the letter reading, we have Miss Lisa, Karen, Aaron, Zach, and Fatima shows up. Now, the reason that Fatima shows up is because Zach told Fatima that Miss Lisa invited her there. The reason that Miss Lisa invited her there is because Karen wrote a letter to Zach and to Aaron and this was Miss Lisa's idea, to write a letter to both Aaron and Zach to tell both men how she felt, which was to quote unquote get all of her feelings out on a piece of paper. That way she feels lighter. That way all of her feelings is out. And that way she does not have to talk about these feelings anymore. Okay? All right. And the hope was that Fatima was there so that she hears it all and see it all. Okay? Okay. Now, let me tell y'all why, in my humble opinion, Miss Lisa is nice nasty. Okay. What Miss Lisa thought was that Zach's new girlfriend was not of Fatima's current, she didn't think that Fatima was a well put together woman. She did not think that Fatima worked at a law firm as a legal assistant. She did not think that Fatima dressed the way that she dressed, was poised, said, yes ma'am, no ma'am, shook people's hand when she talked, looked them in the eye when they talked, when she talked. She didn't think, how when Fatima walked in the room, hi, how are you? Yes. I'd like to hear from you. Yes, Zach told me what the meeting was about, but I'd like to hear from you. Do we all get to talk, or does Karen just get to talk? You see what I'm saying? So y'all see what I'm saying? So she didn't think that Fatima was polite, well spoken, she didn't think that Fatima had that oomph about herself. You know what I'm saying? And she didn't think that Fatima was as pretty as she is, was as beautiful as she is, dressed the way she dressed, and things like that. Because you see, as soon as Fatima walked in the room, she said, oh, wow, you're pretty. What she thought was that Fatima, and I do not mean any harm when I say this, I really don't. I truly believe that what Miss Lisa thought, hearing the name Fatima, in Miss Lisa's mind, she thought with a name like Fatima, that Fatima was going to be ghetto. Like she thought that Fatima was going to be ghetto. She thought that Fatima was going to be like somebody, like one of these strippers or somebody that Zach used to cheat on Karen with. She didn't think that Fatima was going to be like the woman that stood before her. That's why she invited her over there. She invited Fatima over there to embarrass her. That was the point of Miss Lisa inviting her over there. What she thought was going to happen was she invited her over there. She thought she was going to invite her over there. And y'all let me know what y'all think in the comments. And let me sit up for this. What she thought was going to happen was she was going to invite Fatima over there. Karen was going to bash Zach to pieces in her letter. Fatima was going to be like, oh, no, this too much. Y'all got it. I can't do this no more. I can't do this no more, Zach. I can't be with you no more. And Fatima was going to break up. With Zach. Aaron was going to break up. Aaron was going to be like, yeah, this too much for me. I can't do this no more. Aaron was going to not fool with Karen no more. That makes Karen free and clear. That makes Zach free and clear. Because what had been happening all the way up until that point was Karen had been trying to, tell me it's over, Zach. Tell me it's over, Zach. And Zach just wouldn't leave Fatima alone. Zach had made it clear that he was in a relationship with Fatima. He's in love with Fatima. He's not coming up off Fatima. They are in a committed relationship, and that's that. Nothing that Karen could do would change that. And he was very, very adamant about that. So, what Miss Lisa thought that she could do is, because if you listen to the conversation, Miss Lisa said, well, this is my baby girl, and I never, ever, ever want her to hurt. And if you go back to that episode prior to this one, when Karen was talking to her mama and she was crying, and she said to her mama, Zach has moved on and he is in love with somebody else. Miss Lisa thought that she could save the day by doing what she could do to get Zach and Fatima to break up. Since I think Miss Lisa, and y'all let me know what y'all think in the comments. I think Miss Lisa thought, oh, okay, well, if what you doing ain't working, if you can't get them to break up, and if Zach ain't gonna leave Fatima alone, let me see if I can get them to break up, and let me see if I can get Aaron to leave you alone. You write these little letters. Write your little ebook. Write your little ebook, and I get these people to leave you alone so Zach can be don't worry, mama will save the day. Don't worry, baby girl, I'll save you. Let me get these people to leave you alone so Zach can be free for you. That's what that was about. Y'all let me know what y'all think in the comments. But as y'all can see, it did not go down like that. Aaron, even after all of that, Aaron was still, I still love you, Karen. I still want to be with you. I'm going to take care of this baby even though it's not mine. Zach was like, hey man, you talking all this noise. You talking all of this stuff. You mentioning all the bad times. You ain't mentioning the good times. And you ain't mentioning the fact that I gave you $75,000. Miss Lisa didn't know that. Miss Lisa did not know that Zach gave her some money. Then Fatima calls out the fact, okay, I understand that you love him, sis. That's fine. I don't have no problem with the fact that you love him, but y'all not going to get back together. Y'all are over. And all this popping up at the house, you ain't going to do that no more. Miss Lisa like, whoa. Hold on. You ain't tell me that. Hold on, baby girl. You doing that too? And y'all noticed that Karen tried to stop the conversation. Yep. And Karen... Fatima said chestnut checkers. She told that girl in front of her mama, yeah, you gonna stop all this popping up at the house. Aaron didn't know that either. Aaron did not know that Karen was popping up at them people's house. Fatima played that smooth. Yeah, I'm finna let you know in front of your mama and your dude. You gonna stop popping up at this house. And you gonna stop calling me out my name. And Miss Lee. So I'm saying all that to say that whole ebook reading that whole ebook reading did not go how Miss Lisa planned, and it didn't go how Karen planned. And y'all see how Miss Lisa was like, if you're doing all this, you need to apologize. That was all Miss Lisa doing. That was all Miss Lisa doing. Miss Lisa set all of that up to try to get everybody out the way so that she could try to get Zach and Karen back together. Yep. Y'all let me know. Y'all let me know what y'all think in the comments. And then here go Karen. I'm not supposed to be stressed right now. Y'all get out my house. Get out. Child. All them people are a piece of work. But that was another one. That was another scene that I sometimes go back and watch a whole lot of times because it was actually funny. It actually it actually was funny. Child, Zach said, sir, didn't your wife off herself in front of Karen? And you sitting here talking about y'all sitting here talking about a healthy, meaningful relationship. You gotta laugh at it because seriously, Zach got his ways, but Zach don't always be wrong. Aaron, you're sitting here talking about, and this is what's crazy to me. People always talk about how Zach is the better suitor for Karen, but sir, your wife offed herself in front of Karen. You haven't seen the kids that you raised for 20 years. You gave them up. You ain't seen them since your wife died. But you're telling me that you are going to be you're telling me you're going to be father of the year to the two kids that Karen is carrying. Miss me with that. You ain't seen the two that you raised for 20 years. Anyway, I just want to come on here and talk about that. Let me know some other scenes that you guys want me to look at, and I am still going to review season 8 of the other half of season 8 of Sistas. Well, season 8 of Sistas, and we will chop it up later. I love y'all in real life. Have a good one.